once again to the Bob Jane T-Mod studio. Today I'm joined by Sean Myers from Yokohama Tyre Australia, who's going to be talking to us about an interesting product they're about to release into the Australian market.
Yes.
Sean, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah?
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what you're introducing to Australian motorists today.
So today we're introducing the GO16 passenger construction 4x4 tyre.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about why Yokohama wants to introduce a passenger spec in a four-wheel drive product.
One of the key reasons behind it is not everybody needs a heavy duty or what we call a light truck construction 4x4 tyre. So basically we've designed the GO16 in a passenger construction. So obviously that there is going to give us a better ride comfort, better wet grip, better sound on the road,
Yeah.
and just an overall better experience when driving.
So it's no doubt we've seen an increase in the popularity of the
Definitely,
GO16.
Yep.
If you're driving a ute, you're planning on taking it off-road, and that's what your ute is built for, you're going to
Yep.
be loading it a bit,
Yep.
LT spec.
LT spec.
Yeah,
Yep.
but if you drive the SUV
Mhm.
and you want the nice looking, great off-road looking tyre,
Yep.
but you want the comfort on
Want
road,
the comfort, yep.
that's what this bad boy is for.
And
yeah?
we go to the PC one. Yep.
So, Sean, if a customer did want to go off-road with a
Yes.
passenger spec,
Yep.
what would you say the capability of this product is?
So it is still very, very capable. So one of the main differences between these two tyres is obviously that only has a 2-ply sidewall, whereas this one has a 3-ply sidewall. So this could still do your muddy tracks, your farm work, all that sort of type of things. But if you want to be a bit more extreme, then you would have to use the light truck construction, the
Okay.
heavy duty construction.
So, like, if you're going for GVM upgrades and those kind of
Spot
things,
on, yeah.
which we commonly
Yep.
see on like
Yep.
LC76
Yep.
or LC79, this is the bad boy.
This is the
yeah?
one.
Now, I've done some off-road trips using a passenger spec four-wheel
Yep.
drive tyre. Recently did one through
Yep.
the Simpson Desert.
Yep.
And what I've learned is it all comes down to tyre pressure maintenance.
Yes.
And if you're not doing really aggressive off-road with a heavy vehicle, a passenger spec can really take you through those
It
kind
could
of
take you
terrains.
pretty much anywhere.
Okay, so Sean, we've spoken about why you're bringing them into Australia. So
Yep.
let's speak a little about to some of the design differences on the LT to the non-LT, because they're not identical. Yeah.
No, they are not.
But what I find interesting is in the two stacks that we've got here, you can actually see a physical height difference. So these are two identical sized tires. The reason for this height difference in the stack is the weight of the tires, but you see the ability of the sidewall being able to hold up and create what looks like a higher stack, but in actual fact they're the same sizes. This is just the stiffness in the sidewall with the additional ply giving you this effect. So we've got a slight difference here in sidewall biters.
Yep.
That
So
we
we've got
can
a, obviously on the light truck you can see that obviously the side biters are a lot bigger in size, whereas on the passenger one they're a little bit more narrower.
Okay.
And then also on the tread design, you can actually see how big the blocks are on the light truck, whereas on the passenger one, the blocks are a little bit smaller and closer together to
Yep.
improve the ride comfort and the noise on the road.
Okay, so that, yeah, definitely that will
Yeah.
improve noise. Your voids are also slightly different.
Yes.
So you're obviously catering
Yep.
for more mud clearing properties in that tread design
yep.
as opposed to this tread design. That's obviously going to give you a lot more comfort and a lot more quieter
Definitely,
ride
definitely.
on the road. Yeah. I've also measured the tread depth between the two. So I've measured 10.5 to 8.5. So there's
Yep.
a 2 more tread depth difference on them. There will also be a weight difference between the two.
So on average, we worked it out to be roughly about 6 kilos difference per tyre.
Yeah, and that's not what a lot of people speak to, yeah? So the weight difference, so if you think about it, 6 kilos per wheel, that ends up 24 kilos on the vehicle. So in the long run, you're going to end up using a little bit more fuel running the LT spec when you don't plan on
Yeah.
actually going off-road.
It's quite substantial.
Yeah. Now what we've got here is we've got two identical size tires. Yeah, we've got 265 70/17 that we're actually going to be fitting to a Ranger Wildtrak, and we're going to have Kim Jane testing
Yep.
and giving us some feedback. Ex NASCAR champ, ex V8 U champ.
Yep, that's
So,
stuff.
yeah, he knows his stuff. He knows
Yep.
his tires. But Kim will be driving first on the LT specs,
Yep,
giving us a bit of feedback. It's obviously going to be a little bit harder. He
Yep.
does predominantly bitumen driving.
Yep.
And then we're going to chuck the passenger spec
Yep.
on and then get his feedback in terms of what he's felt
Yep.
in comfort on that. So Sean, thank you so much for coming around and showing us these new products.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sure they'll be of great value to Australian motorists out there. And if this GO16 passenger spec is something you're interested in, you run your SUV predominantly on the bitumen, but you want to still go camping and doing that little bit of off-roading, definitely inquire about these at your nearest Bob Jane T-Mod store. They'll be able to look after you with your four-wheel drive. Thanks.